Hi guys, welcome to my channel. For those who don't know me, I am Tabang, aka Precious. Welcome to my channel, and I'm about to let you in on my personal life. Well, so why did I decide to be a single parent despite marriage being on the cards? Well, first thing first, guys. All I can say is don't ignore red flags. Like, do not ignore red flags. Guys, I think generally we all are excited about marriage. We want a stable life, stability, family, But do we have to ignore the red flags? So let me give you a little bit of a background with this, like, about this relationship, right? So when we began, this guy was looking for a partner. He was like, I know what I'm looking for, I'm well established, I got a house, I got a stable job. I just need a woman to be a partner, to work with me, to walk, to be with me in this journey of life, and he wanted to move very fast for me, like, because he was like, I want someone to marry, I want to marry you, I love you. I'm like, that's too soon to know all of that, um but the love bombing, if you know about love bombing. So he was quite convincing, and for me, I've never been with a manipulative person before, so it was quite new. And it was like, well, I mean, we go to the same church, and I'm looking for someone who shares the same beliefs with me. So eventually I gave it a try, I gave it a chance, gave us a chance. I'll tell you more about the red flags that I've experienced, especially early on into the relationship. But today I want to focus mostly on this one. So this guy was about 50-50, he was that kind of person, and he was quite vocal about it, right? So for me, that should have been a red flag. But social media was all about this 50-50 thing, and for me, I was like, is this a thing? Is this what people do right now? Guys, one thing I can tell you is that I've spent so much time on my phone asking people, my friends, and even people that I would hardly talk to, and I'll ask them, is this what you guys do? I questioned myself. I spent so much data that he doesn't even buy. So I think for me, what made it quite challenging is that he wanted 50-50, but he also wanted a traditional woman. He was the type of guy that says, I will not cook when I have a woman in the house. And he was like very upfront about his expectations. So, like, I want a woman who would cook for me, clean for me, do laundry and whatnot. And I was like, I'm not a traditional woman. I'm not. But you know what? Because I am looking for a family, of course, there's someone that has to do these things. I'll give it a shot. But if I can't do it, well, we'll have to hire a helper. Because, to be quite frankly, I'm not domesticated. I used to be when I was young and I was growing up. I kind of, drifted a little bit because I got too busy doing other stuff, making money and all of that. But I'm tidy. My house is quite clean. But to be with another person and clean after them, that was going to be quite new for me. But anyways, he was okay with it. Kinda. But anyway. Then we moved to finances. This guy approaches me and suggests that we save up money into one account. Like, he would open a bank account where we're going to save equally for our expenses. Meaning, like, when we go out, when we eat out, when we order in, the money will come from that account. No, ask me why did I agree on that? Because his excuse was that, well, I'm looking for a partner, and in addition to that, I'm saving for lobola, because already lobola was in the cards very early in the relationship. Fine. Fast forward, I think 6 months in the relationship, I'm pregnant. And guess what? He knew before I did, because when I called him, I was like, nigga, I haven't seen my periods. And he's like, oh, I've been meaning to ask you. Been meaning to ask me? You've been meaning to ask me? Anyways, okay. Cool. I have a medical aid. We go to the doctor and I use my medical aid. I get a script. My medical aid doesn't pay for the supplements, right? Well, we get to clicks. This guy is not paying. I'm not that type of girl that's gonna be like, okay, this is on you, you know. Okay, sorry about that. My light went off. He lets me pay for the supplements. Okay. Next thing, he's initiating a discussion about saving for baby. Okay. What do you suggest? And I'm like, oh well, we can continue saving the 1,000 rand each for baby's expenses. He's cool with it. I'm not. Because why? My medical aid, I'm buying supplement. So basically, I'm financing medical expenses for this pregnancy. And he wants to save equally. Kanjani? How? So I calm myself down. I'm like, okay, I'm not ready to get into this discussion because this is not right. And I get home, I'm like, I'm gonna wait until I'm calm, but it's not happening. I need to talk about this. So I'm like, dude, I don't get it. How is this 50-50? When I'm financing medical expenses all by myself and you want us to save equally for baby's expenses? How is that fair? Guys, did he not get angry? This guy was triggered. Like, he got so mad. And then eventually he's like, you know what? It's fine. I'll save all by myself. And I'm like, okay, go ahead. No, he didn't let it go. The finance discussion gets heated. Now he starts asking me questions. And I'm like, guy, I'm going to need you to help me financially because guess what? From here on, my diet might change. I'm gonna need pregnancy clothes. In actual fact, he was the one that had the guts to ask me about it. He was like, now you need to stop wearing jeans. And I'm like, you're right. So we need to talk about the finances for those jeans because we need to change the clothes. Now guess what? This guy's not happy. He is not happy. He's not happy about it. I'm like, okay, cool. So now I'm mad and I'm like, I realized that, okay, this is not going to happen. Like, this is not going to happen. I'm going to be a single parent for this child. Like, I'm just going to be. Anyways, quickly, he realizes that he's no longer able to manipulate me because he was like, I was no longer responsive. So now what he's saying to me is, people are trying to get between us. Now even family wants us to break up. I'm like, which family? Because now my family is not. It's not on that page. So he doesn't respond to that. But he's like, no, there are ghosts in my house. You know, there are people. There's witchcraft. People are trying to separate us. Why? Why would they do that? So like, I don't give into this manipulation at this point. I'm like, I don't care. But the one thing I know is that now I've only raised one issue and one issue only, and you need to attend to that. Whether there's witchcraft, whether there's what, I don't care. He meets up with me, he tells me how he's praying for our relationship and he's been fasting, praying overnight that we be okay. Guys, why are you praying? Why are you fasting? For what? Because at this point, the only thing I want to hear from you is that, look, I understand where you're coming from. How can we work around our finances so that we equally contribute? Because you basically don't want to contribute all by yourself, or maybe at least a more chunk than I do as a woman, of which you should be a man and provide. But anyways, how do we work around it? He's not saying that. He's saying people are trying to separate us. Why would people try to do that? And I don't care about it. Okay. So when he realized that he couldn't manipulate me, then he calls my mom. So we were already at that stage because there was already low dollar discussions, and so now he goes to my mom and then he says, "Mama, I need to talk to you. Precious and I have challenges, and I wanted to say to you, I can't support her financially because I have other financial responsibilities, and Precious earns more money than I do." To my mom, guys. He's saying all of this to my mom, and I'm pregnant with his child. And this guy says he wants to marry me. Like the audacity. So, in our tradition, usually when you fall pregnant, the family of the lady would go to the guy's family to let them know that their son has impregnated their daughter, because obviously these people are not married. So that's how it's done. So his mother approaches me and she says to me, "Look, because now you're pregnant, we cannot come to your house. Your family has to come to our house." I'm not traditional. We Christians, so we really don't know those things. Fine. And I say to my mom, "Look, I'm not even interested in that because I'm done." So I said to my mom, "Look, I don't know. I'm not there. I'm done with this guy. Like, I'm gonna be a single parent. I'm done." Like, my mom says, "No, how about we go to his house so that we can let his parents know about the financial abuse that you are facing." I'm like, "Okay, if you put it that way, maybe we can give it a shot." The shock of my life, guys, when his aunt, Mamkulu, Mama Lume, whatever it is, when they tell her about this and she says to me, "Do you want to raise this child by yourself?" No, I immediately knew. I knew that I'm not doing this with this family. I'm not even going to be a part of this family. I'm done. Like, I am done. The toxicity, it's not just him, but his entire family is just toxic. And that was it for me. That was it. And I want to say to every woman out there who's faced with such challenges, choose you, babes. Like, choose you. Love you so much so that you walk away from toxicity. You're not going to die. Trust me, I dealt with embarrassment. I dealt with it. Like, I got so mad at God because I chose, I made I took responsible decisions in my life. Like, I didn't throw myself at men. And when married men looked my way, I was like, "Hey," I would redirect your face with a slap to your woman. I was that type of girl, and I'm still that type of girl. I'm not going to change because I've experienced this ish. Like, I chose myself. I knew that I mattered, and despite the fact that I wanted to bring a child in a complete household where, there's a loving mother and father, and centered by, the presence of God. I wanted that. I wanted that for my child. I didn't want the situation, but I was not going to sacrifice my happiness for that. I'm sorry, because eventually that was going to eat me up. Like, it was not worth it. The one thing that came out of it is that I learned to, the sooner I accepted that I'm going to be a single parent, I was happy. I enjoyed my pregnancy. I spent on my pregnancy. Like, I didn't care. I went all out. And when my son came, gosh, the tears of joy. I was so happy. I still am to this day. Like, when I think of him, like the joy, the smile, like when I wake up next to him, like there's nothing I wouldn't do for my son. I love him to bits. Like, choose you. Like, if you're out there faced with a man that's just not pulling up for you, choose you, babes. Choose you. That man found you living. That man found you thriving, and you're still going to thrive. I had to put off my studies because I was not in the right space to tackle the challenges I was facing, including the studies at the time. Maybe I would have, but I chose not to. I chose like to focus purely on the pregnancy and work, and I said I will resume my studies when I'm ready. And I don't regret it. I don't. And I don't see my son as a result of me not being where I want to be today. No. I love him and I'm happy. And I think if you are out there and you're faced with this type of challenge, I just want to encourage you that you will overcome. Don't stay where you are not loved. Don't stay where you are not appreciated. Don't enjoy. Don't enjoy. You don't have to. Choose you, and you'll see things will fall into place for you. Let me know what you would like to know about in the next videos, and please comment and tell me your story or what you'd like to hear from me. I look forward to engaging with you more. Please do subscribe and like my video and share it with someone who might be experiencing similar things, or just enjoy for fun. Thanks for watching. Bye.